Assalamu alaikum, good evening and welcome viewers to Catering Circle's Restaurant Star Show 2022. This is Series 7, Episode 3. Before we go on to starting the show, we're going to have a little recap video.
Very warm welcome to the Catering Circle.
Great loss for the industry, especially our community. I dearly miss him. I mean, he's a supporter of Catering Circle.
We want to hear from you, contestants.
We wanted to introduce a new vegan dish, and that's traditionally jackfruit is eaten by rice and milk.
Innovative dish, I mean, something different.
Have you just got one source of supply, or are you actually trying to identify different sources?
Locally, we found these jackfruits, and on top we have got the tin jackfruit as well.
Normally curry is too spicy, but that jackfruit drop the heat down.
Not just digitally, but even face-to-face, where we're interacting with our customers in-house of what is it that we can give them that they want that's different.
So I think you may want to look at alternatives, like a steam cooker.
Yeah.
There will be different dishes, like dishes for vegan, dishes for non-vegan.
We're not just selling food to feed your belly. We're actually selling you a story, a passion behind it. Just for the pan-fried butternut squash, so we use a little bit of olive oil.
Olive oil isn't supposed to be cooked with. It's something you should add on.
We were really overwhelmed by the customer response, and it was very positive.
As you can appreciate, we are a Indian takeaway, not a restaurant, so our prices might be slightly low.
We're marketing as a separate plant-based menu, and we've been promoting to all our social media network.
The main thing is that the presentation looked good. How good you are marketing, I don't know, because we need more and more new dishes need to be introduced to sustain this industry.
So contestants, you've been through all 4 of the rounds, so now it's time to announce the winner. And we hope to see you again at the next episode.
Wow, what a busy season 7 has been so far. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce myself, Minara Meghnauddin, and I'm going to start to introduce our panel judges first. First off, I'd like to introduce a familiar face to Catering Circle. He is Mr. Abdul Haq, on my right, Vice Chair of Channel S Television, IT and Media Specialist, and Managing Director for Purple Eye Technologies and DineNet, providing solutions to the catering industry. Welcome.
Thank you.
Our second panel judge is Tom Vittles, Head of Hospitality and Culinary Arts, Tourism, Employability, Work Experience at Waltham Forest College, an experienced lecturer with over 20 years of experience in tourism, hospitality and culinary arts. Welcome, Tom. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Our third panel judge, Saidur Rahman Ranu, JP. He is President of the British Bangladeshi Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Vice Chairman of Guild of Bangladeshi Restaurateur in the UK, owns a chain of restaurants and numerous properties in the UK, involved in various community organisations in the UK and other various charities. Welcome, Mr. Saidur Rahman, JP. Welcome to Catering Circle Restaurant Show. Next, I'd like to introduce our special judges, and they are indeed special. They're also familiar faces and always welcomed on the Catering Circle. I'd like to introduce Mohammed Lutfur Rahman, Managing Director of the Work Permit Cloud Limited, an immigration advisor and Commissioner of Oaths, a great supporter of the Catering Circle and the sector at large. I just want to give you a warm welcome, Mohammed Lutfur Rahman. Bye. Welcome. Our second special judge, another familiar, well-known to the industry and to the hospitality and catering industry, Jamal Ahmed, teacher of training consultant, Managing Director of Hamlet's Training Centre. He's a TV personality and presents a very popular program called Skills for Life on Channel S. I just want to give him a warm welcome as well. Welcome, Jamal Bhai. Our third judge, also very well known, Tipu Rahman, award-winning celebrity chef, winner of the International Chef of the Year 2009 to 2010, and at the same time taking the prize awarded by Lady Fraser for Best Vegetarian Dish. He received the Spice Times Award for Best in East Midlands and National Chef of the Year. 2011. Welcome, Tipu Rahman. It's a pleasure having you here as well. For our final special judge, also a very well-known face. I don't think he needs an introduction, but I'll introduce him anyway. Farhad Hussain Tipu, Executive Member of the Catering Circle, Press and Publication Secretary for BCA. A warm welcome to you, Tipu Bhai.
Thank you.
Now, our very special mentors. Everyone's special here. So today, we have our mentor, Shahina Ali. She'll be joining us via video link. She is a celebrity chef, TV and radio food expert, naturopath, nutritionist, businesswoman, and food and beauty writer. Also, she is a medical herbalist, registered naturopathic nutritional therapist, functional medicine. I just want to welcome her as well. Welcome, Shahina Ali. It's nice to have you in the studio. Our second mentor, another well-known who you've seen this side of the desk and also as a mentor and special judge, Tawfazul Mia, Executive Member of Catering Circle, Treasurer of BBCA. He is one of the finalists of the Restaurant Show Awards 2018. I just want to say very, very warm welcome, Tawfazul Mia. Thank you, welcome. Lastly, not finally, but Altaf Hussain. He's also very well known to the Catering Circle. He's an executive member of the Catering Circle and a very successful businessman in the catering sector. Welcome, Altaf Bhai.
Thank you very much.
It's lovely to see you again.
Thank you.
Now, just before we go on to round one, I'd like to describe how today will commence. It's a little about the creative dish competitions. In season 7, will be finding the restaurant star from 9 winners of season 4. The show focuses on menu innovation with trend-setting dishes, pricing and marketing. 3 from 9 winners of the Restaurant Show Talent Show 2019 are taking part in each of the 3 episodes. Participants submitted their recipes before filming the show, and Catering Circle visited each restaurant and filmed the cooking before the launch of the live shows. Hearing the details of their innovative dishes, top scorers will be selected for the semi-finals round series. 3 finalists from the 6 will be selected for the final contest to win Restaurant Star Award. Now, 3 panel judges and 4 special judges will be voting the contestants from each episode. The voting works out as the panel judges will have 60% of the votes, 20% each, and the special judges will have 40% of the votes, 10% each. There will be a mentor for every contestant. Each episode will consist of 4 segments. Round 1, recipe and cooking. Round 2, all reviews, presentation, taste, etc. Round 3, marketing and branding. And finally, round 4, what's your profit margin, cost, price, etc. Among the 9 winners from season 4, 1 restaurant star and 2 finalists will be awarded. Yes, round 1, recipe and cooking. Let's link to the profiles. Let's have a look at our creative dishes and see who the contestants are tonight. Recipe 1. I'd like to call contestant 1, SHAHRUL ALOM from India, WHITTON. Please. So while you're getting ready, we're going to see a clip of SHAHRUL ALOM's recipe.
Welcome to India, WHITTON. My name is Syed ALOM. Here is my head chef and my father, Syed ALOM. Today we will be presenting our signature dish, King Prawn AZUBA. Let's go to the ingredients. Dad, Can I show them the ingredients?
Yes, of course.
Let's start. So we've got olive oil, coriander, red onion, green pepper, red pepper, freshly sliced garlic. We've got chili powder, in-house mixed powder, chopped tomatoes, turmeric powder, salt to taste, tomato paste, chopped red onion, and finely chopped green chili. Dad, should we go show them how to make the king prawn AZUBA?
Yes, of course.
Let's go.
আমি এখন আপনারা দেখাইলাম কিং প্রন আজুবা দেখিলাম মেক করুন আমি পহলা অলিভ অয়েল লইলাম অলিভ অয়েল দেওয়া ফান্টারে একটু গরম করলাম তেলটা একটু গরম করলাম করিয়া আমি কিং প্রনটারে একটু আমি সালমন সারিয়ে একটু বাজবি দেখো কাভিও আপনারা খুব সুন্দর চিংড়ি নিচ্ছি কিং প্রনটা একটু বাজবো আমি বাজিয়া একটু 2-3 মিনিট রাখবো 2 মিনিট রাখবো এর বাদে আমি সারলাম কিং প্রন সারিয়ে আমি ওর সুগারভাবে আনলাম আমি এখন কিং প্রনের সস কিলা বানাই ওটা আপনারা দেখাইলাম আমি একটু অলিভ অয়েল লইলাম ফ্রেশ অলিভ অয়েল আছে ওটা আপনারা আর কিং প্রনটা এবার ফ্রাই দিব আর অলিভ অয়েলটা সসটা আমার নেই ওটা আমি ফ্রেশ গার্লিক লইলাম আমার রেডি কিং প্রনটা আমি রাখছিলাম নাইসলি কিং প্রন হয়ে গেছে সস হয়ে গেছে এভরিথিং আপনার ডান এভরিথিং
Well done, Abba. Here is my Abba's innovative signature dish, king prawn AZUBA. Me and my dad have created a signature dish, a winning dish. The reason why I believe it's going to be a winning dish is because it's innovative, it's healthy, and it's cost effective. Our dish is we use king prawn, so it's very light. The ingredients that we use and the cooking method we use, it's cost effective, not a lot of wastage, and we use fresh ingredients. It's a very simple dish, but it's very complex for the customer's taste buds.
So this is a win-win dish for both the customer as well as for India WHITTON. This is a fantastic invention by Syed SHAHRUL ALOM and his father. It's really on trend right now. It's something that's really appealing to both female and male customers, but especially to the female customer who tends to normally pick the order for the male customer. And I think it's something that's really nutrient-rich, appealing to all 5 senses, both hearing, so with the sizzle of the prawns, sight with the amazing colours on the plate, as well as the taste buds. It's really taste bud tingling. So you've got all the flavours of the different tangy citrus as well as the tamarind, and the prawn itself is incredibly fresh.
Wow, that was really good. A father and son duo, fantastic. Right, Shahrul, you have 2 minutes to tell us about your dish.
Thank my dad. He's been my biggest inspiration, and I'm so glad he's our head chef. But I'll start off with the name AZUBA. It's an exotic name which means to wonder, and that's exactly what I wanted from our customers, to taste each bite and just wonder what is inside the dish, what are the ingredients we use. And the dish, it's an inspiration for me. I looked into I researched what the current demand is and what the consumers of my local community are looking for, and what they wanted is dishes that are lighter, healthier, but also that are time-efficient dishes. So our dish, it's quick, it's easy. We use simple ingredients. We've got the authenticity of Indian cuisine, but we've added a modern twist to it. So what that essentially does is bring the old and the new together. It heightens the taste buds of our customers, and the way we've dressed it on the table, on the plate, using the king prawns. What we've decided to do is, instead of cooking the king prawn in the sauce, we've cooked the sauce separately, added the king prawns. So what that does is contains the flavour of the king prawns and also the nutrients of the king prawns. It's also always nowadays what it is. It's all about healthy living. It's all about healthy living, and when people see this dish, even the youngsters, they're like, oh, this one is for Instagram. We need to take a picture. We need to put it on social media. So that's what it's all about. And with the cost of living crisis at the moment, we use ingredients that are locally sourced, and we have minimal wastage. And it's just a dish that everybody looks at and says, oh, I want to try that. What does AZUBA mean? Let me have a little bite. And then they remember it. It's a small portion, but value for money, where they're thinking, next time I come back, I want to try that dish again. I want to know what that's all about.
I'm going to have to stop you there.
No problem. Thank you.
Fantastic. We're going to go on to our next recipe and next clip. It's from Viceroy of Windsor, at Windsor, TAJWAR SHELIM.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone. Today we're in the lovely town of Windsor at my restaurant, the Viceroy of Windsor. I'm accompanied today by my friend, the executive chef Gautam. How are we doing? Are we ready to rock and roll?
Yes, I'm ready with my visa and everything.
And today we will be cooking grilled scallops in a creamy Kasundi sauce.
I need to use scallop, whole mustard seeds, chopped onion, chopped ginger garlic, turmeric powder, green chili, little bit of black pepper, lemon juice, garam masala. First I reheat the pan. I'm going to put few drops of cooking oil. This is yellow mustard seeds. Last 8 hours I soak it in cold water. Now I'm going to add it here. It's almost 100 grams. Seafood stock water. I'm going to add it almost 50 ml. There will be a nice yellow color. I'm going to make it smooth paste. My scallop is ready. Now it's time to go for plating.
We have East and West Bengal. We have our scallops and we have our KASUNDI sauce. Bringing these two together inspires and rejuvenates years and years of delicacy, of history, of culture, all into one dish. And my God, is it delicious. The sauce complements so well with the scallops themselves, and it's accompanied by some fresh broccoli and tomatoes because we all need our 5 a day. I could honestly eat this dish every single day with a smile on my face. It's not too expensive. It can be made in 20 minutes, and the ingredients you can get anywhere and everywhere. I really recommend you try it because you won't regret it.
Now you've seen KASUNDI scallop prepared, cooked and presented. I believe my mentee Tajwar SHELIM of Viceroy of India deserve to win this because it ticks all the boxes.
Oh wow, that looked really good. If only we had smelly vision, right? So Tajwar, how are you feeling?
Assalamu alaikum, good evening. Feeling good. Hungry after watching that, not gonna lie.
So you've got 2 minutes to tell us about your dish.
Great, thank you so much, and thank you again for having me back. So I'll try to break this out into 2 minutes, one talking a bit about the food itself and one talking a bit about the history. I've spoken a bit about it there, so I'll try not to repeat myself on that one. So, how many curry houses have you gone to where scallops were on the menu? None, right? Number one right there, unique here and there. So we went with scallops, number one, because actually an interesting one I should probably mention, with Liz Truss coming as the Prime Minister right now, and with the Brexit policy, the fisheries are going to have a lot of rejuvenation going in. So traditionally we've been getting them from America. Now we could probably get them from the United Kingdom, and I'll talk a bit about later in terms of cost, but moving on. Why scallops? High in magnesium, it's a healthy fat, similar to avocado, and it's rich in omega-3, which is good for brain function, and sometimes I very much need. Why KASUNDI sauce? For me, this is the trailblazing thing about it all. When I could say I could drink this like a protein shake, like a milkshake, like a smoothie, yes. So I'm going to name you a few of the ingredients, and then we can explain a bit about why we chose them. Orange juice, mustard, ginger, chili, and lemon. Sounds a bit weird, right? Now, altogether, the human biology of taste is split up into 4. So we have sweet, salty, savory, and then sour, so umami. This sauce itself combines all 4 of those together to pack an amazing punch to really hit every single taste bud on your tongue. And then finally, broccoli, simple, good, carbs, and it's a fiber carb. So if you're on a keto diet or something, you can still have broccoli compared to something like rice. And in terms of the history, I've explained it a bit there, but it's not a traditional dish. It's a unique dish. It's a taste of India that you don't get to see. It's a delicacy that we need to really start bringing in, that hasn't really rejuvenated from where we are now. For me, it fuses kind of long-forgotten eras, bringing East and West Bengal together. I'm a huge history fan, and the Mughals first did that in the 14th, 15th century. But during colonialism, what happened was we segmented our dishes. So you'll get a balti, a patia. These are local dishes from regions. They're not combined. So fusion now is fusion with Far East or fusion substituting meats. We don't fusion with our own region and culture. And that's something I really wanted to bring out in this dish to really get a taste of home and a taste of collectiveness.
Tajwar, I have to stop you there. That was fantastic, fantastic history. We're going to go on to our 3rd contestant for this round, and so I'd like to call our 3rd contestant on stage. From MOGHUL, Kent, NURUL HUSSAIN KADIR. We're going to see a short clip now.
Assalamu alaikum. We're in MOGHUL in Sikkim. I have with me our chef, head chef, Saleh. We're going to show you all the ingredients he has today. Saleh, would you like to show me the ingredient you have today, please?
Salmon, Kashmiri chili, haldi powder, curry powder, dhania powder, garam masala, jeera powder, red salt, cooking salt. Mustard oil lagbe, olive oil lagbe, coconut milk powder lagbe, coconut milk lagbe, coriander, red pepper, green pepper, fresh anardana, fresh green chili, chopped onion, garlic, chopped ginger, fresh garden leaf, spring onion, and Spanish chard. আমার এই স্পাইসগুলো দিয়ে আমি একটা পেস্ট বানাইছি এই পেস্টগুলো দিয়ে এখন আমার ফিশগুলো ম্যারিনেট করব এখন ম্যারিনেট করা শেষ হয়ে গেছে আমার ফিশটা তন্দুরি ওভেনে আছে ফিশ রেডি হইতে আপনার 5 মিনিট লাগবে এর ভিতরে আমি আমার গ্রিন সস রেডি আছে গ্রিন সসটা বানাই নেই আচ্ছা প্রথম আমি ডালবো গ্রিন সস এরপরে ডালবো আপনার কোকোনাট মিল্ক
While the sauce is getting ready, fish nearly cooked, I am doing the last part of the dish. The last part of the dish is the spinach, where we put the decoration on the top. So this is the olive oil. Now, in the onions. This is a dish really going to go well in our restaurant. It's got local fish, local ingredient, fresh ingredient, very healthy the way it's been cooked, and it looks delicious. And this is why I think we're gonna make it big with this dish in here.
I am here mentoring MOGHUL restaurant in Sidcup, and the restaurant is very nice, and the dish is being presented called salmon hariyali SAAGWALA, and this dish is looking mouth-watering, and I wish this dish come up massive impression to the customers and become #1 dish in curry industry.
Wow, that was fantastic. I love the colours in that dish as well. So, Mr. NURUL HUSSAIN KADIR, you have 2 minutes to tell us your wow factor about your dish.
Assalamu alaikum. I'll quickly start with my name of the dish. It's called salmon hariyali SAAGWALA. Okay, there's 3 elements into that. I wanted to create a unique dish that's very unique, very different, customer not on my menu, and also hoping nobody ever tasted that before. Okay. On the video clip, as you saw, I've used green herbs to give that green color. Our famous tandoori, which is the best barbecue you can have. So it's cooked in the tandoori. The salmon that we use, Scottish wild salmon, which gives us obviously health side of it. We'll come to that later. And also the dish, when I started thinking about the dish, we wanted to make it so that it's simple, it's fast, so you can produce it quickly with less time on it, and have very vibrant color to it, and hopefully the taste, retain the taste. So therefore we used all the green herbs to decorate the dish. So it was cooked simply with pomegranate, anwar, we call it in Bengali, decorated with dill, spinach on the top, still retain the kick on it, using a bit of green chili, keeping the color without having too much spice in it, and hopefully it looks better than no other dishes. I think I'm finished with that.
Thank you. Right, now I think I'd like to ask our panel judges their opinions. Mr. Huck,
three dishes are very unique. I haven't seen them any of the Indian restaurant. To be honest, I have so much Indian food. I like to see in Indian restaurants something different. So I personally can add my values and my revenue, and I do about 2-3 takeaways a week, I'll be honest with you. And if these dishes are available, I personally would go and order it. So king prawn, love it. But of course, we need to check whether this is going to save the industry and the GP. So I think it's on 4th round. We know how good that is. Scallop is something new to me. Again, we need to know how good would that be with the industry. So there are a lot of questions to be asked. Salmon, I love that salmon, and especially SHAHRUL, a bit of mix, and the sauce is very tasty. So to be honest, it's an early hours to decide which is the top dish, but I'm loving them all three dishes, to be honest.
I'd like to go on to our next panel judge, Tom Vittles. Your opinion?
How unique they are. I've never actually seen such a kind of variance, and for my usual trip to the Indian restaurants, etc., and Asian restaurants, you don't really see these on the menu. So I'm very excited about the variety being offered. Again, salmon, great. I like how we're trying to use the local political agenda at the moment, which I think is great, about looking at about the needs and stuff, how this would actually fit in, and etc. Fantastic. I'm really excited.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll see what happens in round 2. Our next panel judge, a little bit your opinion, and which one was your favourite dish?
Actually, I mean, I should say, all these three dishes been presented here, what I have seen is a very new and very innovative dish, It's not sort of, traditional Indian food, what we are selling for last 40, 50 years, So this is a little bit touch of, different or moderate into that Indian foods. And of course, we have to be very careful now, like king prawns, what I've seen actually. It's very true. The king prawn, I have seen even in my catering lives, the people put the spice first with the onions and everything, and then put the king prawn. And what does it happen, The actual flavor of the king prawn is go away. And when you start eating the king prawn, you will only get smell of the spice. And the way the king prawn was cooked there, I'm very impressed, because that's how when I start eating, a king prawn dish, I use the same techniques. I don't put any spice into the king prawn, because it kills the king prawn flavor, the smell of the actual king prawn. I think everybody will agree with me. And this is number 1. Number 2, which is the scallops one, which is a very, very newly invented for the curry house, Especially, I don't think many curry houses has got this dish, which is an excellent one again. And the salmon curry, of course, the salmon is available in this country now, and we can get it from even from Tesco. Yeah. We can get it from Morrison. Sometimes the king prawn shortage. When the king prawn is shortage, we are in trouble. We have to buy in a very high price. Okay. So if we talk about the money, if we talk about the other things, the salmon is also it's a very nicely which has been done differently, totally different cooking style.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
While now our judges can stop voting, so I want to go on to, while our special judges are still voting, I want to go on to our mentors. Tofasumia, a few words from yourself.
I think my mentee done a brilliant showdown. He explained the dish very well. The fact that it's a unique ingredient, including the scallop. In an Indian restaurant, you have the salmon fish, king prawn, chicken, lamb, all over the country. But to bring a unique ingredient and serve it on the plate. But the fact is, he was talking about the ticking the boxes. For me, when we have a meal, we have to look at the 3 things: carbs, fiber, and protein.
Okay, that's fine.
So where is this? He was serving, I believe, with rice, but he had the broccoli, which was the fiber, and the protein was the scallop, which is amazing. To be honest, it was mouth-watering because I tasted that dish, and I think everybody should try it at home. Thank you.
Brilliant. I'm sure we will, or maybe pay a visit. Just before I go into our next mentor, I'd like to ask our mentor that's joined us by video link.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the dish ranges are really exciting because they're being really creative with the ingredients. However, it's not always the case of what you have, it's what you do with it. And I do think that their cooking methods and how they're putting things together is really, really interesting. And it's really exciting for the customer as well because they're being very, very creative and putting twists in that you don't normally see, and they're not readily available in the high street. So, on say for example, in other takeaways and restaurants. So this is really excellent. They're being so out there with their creativity, but not too out there to the point where the ingredients are not hugely available or anything like that. These are readily available ingredients, and I think what's really exciting in terms of looking at the trends at the moment is that they have to consider the cost of living.
Shahina, thank you so much. Right, I think the voting continuing. While it's continuing, just a quick few words from our mentor, Altaf Hussain. Just quick few words before I go into the special judges.
Salmon SAAGWALA. I have witnessed the cooking when chef come up with this unique dish and very much flavor, which is a local salmon, is wild salmon we use.
Okay.
It's very much flavor, and spinach is very healthy dish, so I like this dish. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Right, I want to ask one of our special judges just to say a quick few words. Our special judge, Mr. Mohammed Lutfur Rahman, who's joined us for the first time, I understand, on the Catering Circle show.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, the chef who did it, and this is a unique things. Obviously, I'm not a chef and I don't have expert, but from my early restaurant job, the very first job I did, and I knew that this time only things I know is a gravy. Always gravy is there, you have to make the gravy. But today I found all three dishes.
I think as a diner,
a
love of food, you know.
So this is the things I found. That the one thing is this: all three products made without gravy, which is innovative, and the scallop one obviously is a good one. I mean something new. But again, out of three products, I could say the scallop maybe takes more time to make. So, and he didn't have time to about the, obviously, all of the contestants didn't have time to describe about the cost of things. But I think all three products are unique. So, hats off to them. And obviously, it would be great. Thank you.
Quick few words from our special judge, Mr. Jamal Ahmed.
Well, I'm running short of speeches. What a fantastic presentation by these three magnificent participants. These were amazing. Especially the first participant, SHAHRUL, is really amazing because the description he made, because he was inspired by his dad. So this is something, again, taking our industry to the next generation. So this is really, really great. And again, I like both three dishes are made from fish. And the preparation, the presentation, all are unique. And I'm sure these three dishes take our industry further. And I'm really, really happy to see them in here. And they have great future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamal Ahmed. Now, our celebrity chef, Tibur Rahman, your criticisms or favoritism?
Firstly, congratulations coming to the father and son. This is our good things is our industry because new generation are coming. But one thing I say, because it's a good presentation and so this one, but I've not found anything new, honestly. King prawn AZUBA. And another one is a KASUNDI scalp. This KASUNDI scalp, yeah. This one is he marinated in the mustard, and I think it's a good combination. And other one is is good. And other one is salmon hari SAAGWALA. This one I found one thing is about the salmon. They cooked in the tandoori oven. Actually, salmon is always a very cooked. I think I saw this one as a well cooked. The salmon is always a medium rare.
Thank you.
The all is good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
And just before we announce, I think the results are here. We've got the results. So just a quick few words from you, Tipawai.
Thank you. I think this is a creative dish competition, and 3 of the dish are creative, unique, attractive, and delicious. I think I really like the KASUNDI scallops, because in Bangladesh we have a very famous dish, Ilish KASUNDI. Ilish is one of the national fish of Bangladesh, and you replace it with scallops, which is a very good idea. And salmon hari SAAGWALA, I tasted. It's really yummy sauce and delicious. King prawn AZUBA, I hope is going to be a very delicious too. So good luck for 3 of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So now, just before we go on to the break, we're going to announce the results for round 1. So we can see the first one is Viceroy of Windsor, and the score is 84. And second is India WHITTON, the score is 72. And in third place, MOGHUL, 72 as well. So there's head-to-head with the second and third. We're going to be going on to round 2, but I just want to say, just before we do, congratulations to Viceroy of Windsor for winning round 1. But on round 2, we're going to see a first dinner's review clip.
So I just had my king prawn AZUBA from India WHITTON, my always go-to, and you've never let me down. And today's dish was a unique king prawn cooked in olive oil, garlic, basted in thick AZUBA sauce. And it was delicious because the king prawns were big and juicy, and all the sauce went between the shells. That made it even nicer to eat. I would say, if anyone's in the area, I would give them a go, because you won't be disappointed, because the value is always on point.
I'm just reviewing the king prawn AZUBA from India WHITTON. I've just finished the meal, absolutely on point. Beautiful succulent prawns cooked in an aromatic garlic sauce. It was absolutely gorgeous. The presentation was absolutely brilliant compared to a Michelin star experience, and the food wanted me to go back for more. I would recommend this highly, more than highly, 10 out of 10, and the price of it was just to die for as well.
Well, some happy reviewers there and some happy feedback. So, SHAHRUL, welcome back to round 2, and you have 1 minute in this round.
Thank you. Well, it's good to see feedback from my customers. At the end of the day, my restaurant is within our local community, and that's the people that we go for, the people in our community, and we always want to know what they want, what they're looking for, and it's always vital to get feedback from them, because then you know what you need to change with your items, you know what you can adapt, what you can make better. We've introduced limited menu, seasonal menu with different changes. So what I've introduced myself is coming from a young person who also likes to eat out as well. I wanted to know what does everyone else want to eat. And king prawn, it's light, it's healthy. As you can tell, the customers said it's good value for money as well. It's a customer's favorite. What we've done is that with our seasonal menu, whatever gets glowing responses, they stay on our menu. And it becomes a local customer favourite. Yeah, and it's also got the health benefits, as I mentioned earlier, the nutritional value that you keep and retain when you cook the king prawn separately. And the sauce is just for the flavour. You want to taste the king prawn. As a young individual, king prawns are amazing succulent dishes that you want to just taste the flavour of it. And young generations, they are earning good money. They want to try good food. Dishes that look good, that taste great, that's cooked well, presented well as well. Even we use the lemon wedges. We roast the lemon wedges, keep them on the side so they can drizzle the king prawns with lemon. That gives it that little zesty flavour as well, which also enhances their flavour. At the end of the day, for me, it's all about what makes our local customers happy, what do they want, and what dishes can I make for them that will make them come back and speak to their local people and their neighbours and say, you know what, you need to go try this dish.
Okay. You said, so how do you get your feedback from your customers? Is it via...
So a lot of our feedback is word of mouth. So when customers dine in, they'll tell us what the dish is like, how the dish is like. And a lot of the other feedback is from Google reviews. You'll see TripAdvisor reviews, and it's all to do with the reviews and how you see people.
Okay, thank you. We're going to go on to our next clip, which is from Viceroy of Windsor. Tajwar, SHELIM, would you like to take the podium?
So nice. I love that. I really love it. I love the sauce. The sauce is very... it's a bit of mustard, but it's not too strong. So this is an amazing combination with the scallops. I think this is what I like. Yeah, a signature dish. It's really nice, really nice.
Really hefty and bloaty. This is, you know, just a totally different world. And the fact they've combined the crab claw with the scallop is just absolutely incredible.
I had a great time in Windsor. If I had to describe my time there, I'd use one dish that I had. It was the grilled sesame scallops. It was rich, it was sophisticated, and it was fresh.
Looks like the scallops are very popular. So, Tajwar, you can start to talk about your reviews.
Great, thanks. I guess what really brought on this dish for me was just a regular night in the restaurant, kind of looking around and seeing, it's always been the thing. You get a group of lads coming in, 10, 15 men, each get a curry, each get a side dish, each get the rice. You don't get that nowadays. You get so many different palates, so many different allergies, so many different customs here and there. You have keto, you have gluten-free. And what I was noticing was they were just having side dishes or a rice. And it wasn't profitable. So I'm like, okay, if I'm noticing this, what can I do to really start activating and accessing this market? What I went with, something unique. A unique meat, scallop, that we don't normally get. You don't see in Asian restaurants. I personally love it, and it was a big shift for me. But I would always say Chef Gotham probably has the high praise of choosing that one. And then when it comes to the sauce and the sides, not having rice in a dish. When you have a night out at a curry house, it's family, it's community, you're having the evening meal, you don't want to be so heavy that you can't get up afterwards. Having a light meal, you can continue going afterwards. You can continue drinking more. You can continue socializing. You're not completely dead and asleep. And it really works, this dish, for those kind of people. And what I've seen is them actively seeking out this dish, going, trying it. And it's so refreshing to go to a curry house and not have to have a boona, not have to have rice and bread, not have to have so many carbs that you're done for the week. It's not oily, it's not ghee, it's not butter. It's so much, you finish it and you're not sitting there like, You're sitting there, you still smile, you can still enjoy it. The richness of the flavors keeps you enthralled as you eat and continue to go eating through it. In terms of the vegetables and the sauce itself, again, I have to give privilege and kudos to the chef. I really wanted him to have his own creativity and put his imprint into the dish itself. And allowing him that freedom to do so was what I wanted, and I think that's what he achieved, and I'm very happy with the result.
Thank you, Tajwar. Sit down. We're going to go on to our third clip. Before that, I'd like to call on MOGHUL, NURUL, HUSSAIN, KADIR to come on the stage.
The dish is prepared. It's the first time of trying that dish. Very, very nice. Pomegranates in there, the spice of it. The salmon was cooked to the best sort of salmon I've ever had, I think.
It was absolutely delicious, very tender, moist, and the flavours was unusual, which I've not experienced before. And I think there was a slight kick to it.
You mean slightly hot, yeah?
Not hot, but
slight nice kick to it.
Nice kick.
A salmon dish this evening. I normally order the same thing whenever I come here. So I'm a chicken tikka masala, and I'm quite non-adventurous. But I had a salmon dish today. It was really nice. It was different. So I even ventured and had some of the greens. But it was very nice.
Very nice, very well done presented. Looks very beautiful. It was warm,
and fish were cooked fantastic. Absolutely loved it. Loved the green and that crunchy spinach, I think, was on the top. Very nice.
The fish was really well cooked and the green and vegetable was really nice, especially with the pomegranate seeds in as well, so it made it just a bit sweet, which was really nice.
And some more further fantastic reviews. So, Mr. Kadir, you have 1 minute to explain, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. As you can see from the review there from the customers, it was a very simple, very quick dish to make, very colorful, and I think I have, salmon is a sort of very popular dish, but it's the way you cook it, it's how you present it, and how quickly you can serve it to the customer. That was one of my main aim. And to create something different, you had to think about spices that normally you don't use on the Indian restaurants. Well, I mean, normally, normal curry sort of spice. This was very greeny, used all the green herbs, added sort of spice to it in such a way so that it retains the color and is presentable, and you look at it and you think this is different, and that's exactly what I've achieved. To my pleasant surprise, with the review I got, I was really very pleasantly surprised with the outcome, and I think it's going to be a very successful dish, and it has been for me anyway. And I would, if you would only have to taste it to believe me. So I will invite everybody to come and have a taste on that. I think we've done a great job. I haven't tasted anything like this before. We come out with that, and you just look simple, but you just have to taste to really see the difference.
Thank you very much. You know what, I love salmon, so I think I'm going to take you up on that offer to come and try that. So now we're going to go back to the voting. So while our special judges are voting, I'm going to come to our panel judges for a quick few words. So Abdul Haq.
Yeah, I think the reviews were very nice. Obviously, I was expecting more cultural, for example, some of the dishes can be targeted with different customers, for example, Asian customers. I would love to go and try some of those dishes. And as you probably know, I would always say, to save this industry, we have to stop thinking about, we had a pub culture where we had a vindaloo, and that culture don't exist. We have, a lot of the Asian people are gone very rich now. They can afford to go to restaurant. I go and dine out. All my friends goes and dine out. And if we can attract those younger people or different cultural people or different group of people, I think this industry will grow and boost. And these dishes are just the dishes we needed for the industry. And I can see there are a lot of changes happening. All these dishes are king prawn, scallop and salmon. I tell you
all
something.
Fantastic,
all
they?
fantastic.
All fantastic.
Yeah, all
dishes.
Fantastic. Yes.
Thank you.
A lot of creative ideas.
Our second panel judge, Tom.
After hearing the reviews, it's great to hear the community represent the local community. Again, you've got 3 very different ingredients. I like how they've put certain twists on it. I love the fact that you're looking at the seasonal menus, you're taking into consideration allergies, gluten-free diets. I love the fact that using pomegranate, which is an unusual kind of ingredient, with the salmon, for example. I like the fact that using green herbs, something different in Asian food that is unique and often given a new twist and infusion to taste. So, yeah.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. Absolutely, everything about allergies is so important now.
Of course.
To have this and consider this in dishes that are creative ones. Yourself, panel judge, Saidur Rahman.
Thank you. Yes, I'm just adding with Tom. I mean, nowadays, we have to be very careful with the allergy restriction. I mean, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we did not have to carry on that message, or that problem.
No.
So, over the years, it's been researched. It's a lot of people are dying with the allergy. And one of the message I want to give all the chefs because we are using the same spoon. We are although saying allergy awareness.
Yes.
I mean, we are mentioning in our menu that, I mean, this dish hasn't got any allergy. But what's been happening, you know, the same spoon he's using to make another dish. He used to make another dish, right? And with that one, he's using the non-allergy one. So which is a very dangerous, and this is my message to all the chefs: keep the spoon, keep your pans separate. I mean, if you got an allergy awareness or some, you know, nowadays customer asks us, you know, is this food has got gluten? Is this one got any allergy, you know, problem?
No,
so that's number two.
And very valuable
message,
yeah, points and a message from
and
yourself.
what I'm talking about these three dishes, I mean, of course, I mean, I said this is a very different idea, very different creation. But one of the things, the king prawn is a very common dish and is very expensive. I think in my experience, you know, not many people can afford it. But of course, whoever loves the king prawn, you know, they will have it, and that will be a different taste. I just want to touch with the salmon.
Just very quickly.
Quickly, yeah. The salmon, I think, is a very, very nice dish. But the salmon, I think one of our judges has mentioned, if you grilled it and if you mix with the spinach, you know, when you grill the salmon, it's, in my experience, it gets a little bit harder. Salmon should be soft. So this is my suggestion. Thank you very much.
So while our panel judges are voting, I'm just going to ask one of our special judges to make a comment on the reviews. Our celebrity chef, Tipu Raman.
Actually, I saw the presentation is good, and because this is the inspiration for the at the moment is the new generation coming down, and you know thank you everyone.
And also, I would like to ask Jamal Ahmed, just a quick few words, please.
From the customer service review, we knew that a happy customer tells 6 people, other customer, to come to the restaurant or to the to come to eat, but an unhappy customer tells 12 people. But here, out of those 3 restaurants, we saw everyone gave nice feedback, especially 10 out of 10, and one of the King Prawn AZUBA, he said he did really research what customer look for. So this is really nice feedback. In the other one, the KASUNDI SCALLOPS, very happy customer. Customers found the food was really natural and healthy. And on the other side, salmon SAAGWALA, very nice presentation. The way it was presented, and customers said well presented. And the way he presented, we found it was really authentic and very natural. And I love that. Thank you.
Just a quick few words from yourself, Tafazumia.
But yes, all 3 dishes had ingredient from the east and west, and Tammy is the best. And it was shown by the reviews. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And that was a good quote as well. Thank you. So now it's result time again for round 2. The winner is Viceroy of India with 88 points, India WHITTON 82, and MOGHUL with 80. You know, well done and congratulations to Viceroy of Windsor again. Tafazumia, and a few more words from yourself.
Well, look, just like I said, they're all winners, and I think what we need to understand is these are new, innovative, creative dish. I agree with our special judge's comment, Lutfur Rahman there. He said he used to see using gravy. And when you see these 3 dishes cooked in front of you, they don't use any gravy. These are modern techniques, and this is the way forward. And when you're plating your food, I always say, think about the protein, carbs, and fiber. Because if you plate all 3 of them in one plate, you don't need to put a separate dish for that, separate food dish for the other, and you are selling to your customer a whole meal. And I think that's the way forward.
Thank you so much. Can I ask our first contestant to come and join us on stage, on the podium? Now, this is all about marketing and branding. So you have 1 minute to tell us about your marketing and branding.
No problem. So some of our popular seasonal dishes that we create, they're promoted onto our social media platforms, especially Instagram. And what we tend to do is get our local bloggers within our local community to come try the dish, and they become the people that advertise for us. And on top of that, we also have our own customers that come into the restaurant. They take pictures on Instagram, Snapchat. They tell their friends about it. As when they're eating the food itself, they describe the food, how it tastes, and they upload that. And it shows their real emotions and the flavor of the dish as it is whilst they're trying it. And also another big promoter for us is word of mouth. And for me, that's been a real success within the industry. What I found is that customers are now like my family. As soon as they walk in, I speak to them, I ask them how they are. And what I've seen is when I create new dishes, I tell them and I ask them, could you guys try this and give me feedback from it? Whether it's positive or negative, I take it all on board and I adapt the dishes that I can as much as possible. And also, it's for my front of house. I get them to try the dishes as well.
SHAHRUL. Thank you. 1 minute goes really fast, isn't it?
It does,
but thank
indeed.
you.
No
Some
problem.
interesting, really
Thank you.
interesting input that you've given on your marketing and branding. Next, I would like to speak to TAJWAR SHELIM from Viceroy of Windsor.
So for this one, I might actually throw a spanner in the works. I actually don't actively use influencers here and there. We're a family-owned business, and what I like to see is kind of what's real. Because I've gone to these restaurants, all the trendy ones in Shoreditch, I go with my friends, and what happens is you eat once, you enjoy, you get the novelty, you don't go back. 80% of your revenue is 20% of your customers. So what I do is learn from my granddad. He basically was the most social person I've ever met, where he'd go around to every customer and just start talking to them. So that's what I try to do, and just to see what they're interested in, what do they like. And in terms of appetite for my restaurant, they wanted something new, but not too risky. And there's a saying, if you give a man 8 hours to chop a tree, spend 6 hours sharpening the axe. Because of the clientele and demographic we have at my restaurant, it's very traditional, it's very middle class, it's still very white. And they have a certain manner and way of doing things. So I want to be very strategic and careful, understanding what they want, and slowly bring the dish out after I've done the extensive market research. This here is our trial, right? What I'm learning with my friends, with my colleagues, and with you today is how I'm understanding how this dish sets within that climate. And then once it's launched officially, we can start working with it.
Thank you so much. Brilliant.
Thank you.
You know, some really, really good points going round. Next, I'd like to ask NURUL HUSSAIN KADIR from MOGHUL. Please tell us about your marketing and branding.
Right, and I market my dish from the market dish through the customer feedback. Basically, make a dish, present it to them, especially when they're having a party, share, get the feedback, get them to do it on their social media, follow it up, and obviously you got to do it yourself as well. And that's the best way, like one of my constituents said, word of mouth. That's the best way of selling your dish, basically, forward. And my selling point is, it's totally different from my menu. It's nothing that they've had tasted in my restaurant before. So when they see that, a dish that's so colorful, so different, you immediately get a good reaction, and they want to tell you about it, and hopefully talk to them, and they will tell you about it on their social media. That's the marketing, and that's the best way to do that. And
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, NURUL HUSSAIN KADIR. Thank you for that. So now it's that time again for the voting. So while I'm going to speak to our panel judges, our special judges can start voting. I'd like to speak to Tom. A few words from yourself, a few quick words on marketing and branding.
Definitely. It's, the most important thing is about having the right product, a product that is going to be appreciated, something that everyone wants to come back for. A variety of different methods obviously being used here, more social in one than the other. However, I like the fact that asking for feedback from the actual locals in the restaurant is so important. And also, I'm also liking how we're using different Snapchat, etc. Again, if you've got the right product, it's going to sell. It's and I think, yeah, again, congratulations on all the products. I think
Thank you. Abdul Haq.
The question was, how do you market your dish? I think a lot of the guys were talking about how general marketing, but to market a dish, I would do it quite differently. I was expecting to see, a specific dish launch, maybe a menu change, highlighting that dish, because you can have the best dish in the world, but if the customer don't know and if it can't create the hype, then that one works. So yeah, I mean, I would launch it completely differently.
Yes.
It was quite lacking on this round, to be honest, but I'm hoping the next round will be better.
Yes, thank you so much, Abdul Haq. Right, I'd like to hear from one of our mentors, Shahina Ali.
Yes, so I've obviously tasted SHAHRUL's dish and I think it's fantastic. It's fantastically appealing to what he's done is a great marketing technique of narrowing down to the key core clientele and then having mass appeal to that core clientele. So rather than going very, very niche and just looking at more avant-garde ingredients and things, he's actually really appealing to his core clientele on a mass basis. And I think that will, and also he's using social media, so it's going to create a viral effect.
Thank you, Shahina.
By word of mouth.
So while our panel judges are voting, I'm going to go on to ask one or two of our special judges. I'd like to ask Mohammed Lutfur Rahman like to say a few words. Thank you.
I'd like to, I'm a branding man. I like your branding, and that's what I do. And I learned a lot from them. 3 of them gave some tips, which is good for me as well, to how to create. But as Mr. Hawk said, they need to do something more. Especially the Google marketing and other things. One of the contestants mentioned about this. I think nowadays the people before order, they check the review, what's going on over there, and then they order. So I think those sort of things they need to focus on as well before, and I think that would work as well. Thank you very
so much. Thank you. Really valuable comment. And just a quick few words from Jamal Ahmed. Thank you.
Thank you. I like that because customer is the bread and butter of any organization. So for the restaurant, first of all, for the King Prawn AZUBA, they said, because now the time of technologies, obviously, because I really like it's quite authentic, like for the local blogger, Instagram, Snapchat's great. So I really like the method you are using. On the other side, the Viceroy of Windsor, so they're really great as well. They say they talk to the customer. So to me, it looks like more reactive marketing. So I think also we need to be more proactive. And on the other side, the customer feedback from word of mouth, I do agree with you from NURUL HUSSAIN, but obviously now we need to think about, like for example, if I go to somewhere like for example Spain or India or Bangladesh, I look at the Google review, I look at what is available on the phone. So it's really important. We need to increase our branding and marketing on social media, as you said. And this is really important, but it's also important to get feedback from people to improve, but it's really important also to pass the information to them who you are and what you are offering.
Fantastic comment. Thank you, Jamal Ahmed. Right, it's result time again for round 3, and the result is, as you can see, it's India WHITTON in first place in this round with 76, Viceroy of Windsor with 70, and MOGHUL of Kent with 64. Congratulations to India WHITTON. Congratulations to Shahrul. Now we're going to go on to a combined one. And as you can see, the results are Viceroy of Windsor has 242, India WHITTON has 230, and MOGHUL of Kent is 216. Congratulations. So now, round 4. This is our final round. And this round is about profit margins. Welcome. I'd like to welcome back Shahrul from India WHITTON. Back to the podium again. And you have 1 minute to tell us about profit margins.
So our dish is priced at $17.95, which gives us a gross profit of just above 69.5%, which is $12.95 profit per dish. Our cost breakdown is the king prawns in today's climate cost roughly around £3, and the vegetables and garnish that we use with all the other costs in mind are roughly about £2.50. So all in all, the expense is about £5.50. Our wastage is very minimal because we use fresh local produce of the vegetables and the garnish, and also the king prawns. There's no wastage with the king prawns, and the main thing is my dish is priced reasonably for my local area, with our local competitors also charging similar price. What I wanted to do is price this dish where it's reasonable enough for youngsters to also try the dish, but also for the adults to also try the dish as well. What I've seen myself, I don't want to charge someone a lot of money when they can have a fabulous dish for a good amount.
Thank you,
price.
Shahrul. You can wait there. I'm going to call our next contestant to come and join you.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask TAJWAR SHELIM for Viceroy of Windsor to come and join. So you have 1 minute to talk about your profit margins.
Sure. Okay, so we actually charge £24 for this dish. And why that is a reason? Well, scallops, you can get 30 quid for a kilo. That's around 40 to 50 scallops. With the new fisheries policies coming in, we could probably look to actually reducing that even more. And then we're also looking at more environmentally sustainably sorted and assorted fish, hopefully factory farming or something like that. That's hopefully a bit less degrading to the environment. When it comes to the broccoli, 50p, sauce, 250. You're looking at cost £6 to £8 to £24 profit. And what that is a 70% margin. Why that's so important to me is because let's say someone comes in for a chicken curry and rice, drink, whatever. That's an average 20% profit margin. If I'm doing this and they're having this meal and it's a 70% profit margin, I've only got one seat. Am I going for the 20% or am I going to the 70%? In terms of the price itself, we live in an affluent area. I'm privileged that I can put that price in. And the fact of the matter is the product sells, people are buying it. So why would I change it? And when it comes to wastage, again, minimal for us in terms of the ingredients we use, locally sourced, appropriate for the portions, and because this isn't a carb-heavy dish, there's usually no leftover.
Thank you. Thank you, TAJWAR. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to call our third contestant, NURUL Hussain Kadir from MOGHUL. And your 1 minute starts now.
Thank you very much. Okay. Salmon is very reasonably priced, so there's a readily available. In terms of wastage, it comes in a portion, so you can contain that. I've got a very affluent sort of customer base, so I am able to charge about $19.95 for that, and it cost me roughly about £4 to make. So there's a good profit margin there. Also, don't forget, when you're not just concentrating on the particular dish, there's an upselling point of when you have a fish, you need red wine with it. So that's where your bigger profit margin comes in. So averagely, as long as, simple calculation, if your dish is not, if it's costing sort of 1/3 of what you're charging, then you're making a good profit. So I go by that and, stick to that simple method because it's not just one dish you concentrate to make all the profit. It's the rest of it. It's a restaurant, especially mine, where I can, sell other stuff with the food dish.
Thank you, Mr. Kadir. We are crunched for time, so this is the final round and the final judging will be taking place. So it's 20% votes will come from the panel judges and our special judges will do 5% of the votes. 10%, sorry. Just a quick, I'd like to ask one of our judges, just to ask one of our contestants, quick question from Abdul Haq.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so king prawn, I'm always worried about the GP because I know every time I spoke to Indian restaurants, they say, we do not make any money. This is just a product we just sell for the sake of it. Now, how do you expect to make enough money, be a star dish, and save the industry using your king prawn dish. Do you want to explain that to me?
Yeah, so, well, with the king prawn, because like you said, it is a quite expensive dish, but what we tend to do is reduce the size of the portion, but also provide like the exquisite flavour coming from the king prawns and the flavours from the sauce. That then allows me to be able to charge the price that I'm charging and still make a profit from the king prawns. Because we've got such a large profit margin, we still have room to play with if the price does fluctuate. When it does, sometimes it does go higher, sometimes it does go lower. It tends to stay at a reasonable price, so that's why we've always got room to be able to sell king prawn for profit.
Tom, would you like to ask one of the contestants?
I'm going to go to my favourite fish, which of course is scallops. Yeah, very expensive to buy. When you actually are putting these, for example, when you're actually putting across the unique selling point to your customers when they're wanting to order, how do you market it? I'm going back to the marketing question as well.
It's a good question. I'd say for that one, element is the uniqueness, but also the taste. When you have scallops, it's a simple one. It's one where the meat speaks for itself, because you can just grill it, pan fry it a couple minutes and it's done. To really embed South Asian sauces and cuisine into that, to really accentuate the spices and the herbs, I've never witnessed it. And when we have our traditional fish, it's always quite river fish, heavy in bones. This is very, very different. And then bringing those two flavours again just makes a very unique, different and refreshing taste. And that in its own really sells from what I've seen.
Thank you, Tajwar. Just a quick question, maybe from one of our special judges.
One question about the Viceroy, the scallop one. I think it's time consuming to make than other two. So did you consider this one, your labor cost about this?
So for this one, we've created a little magic in the kitchen. So our tandoori chef exactly knows when to make the tandoori mixed grills for when the main dishes come out. For the scallops, when we get an order, we've basically created a good timeline where the other dishes will come out at the same time. And then the issue, you are correct, with scallops, when they've cooked, you've got about 3 to 5 minutes eating time. So that's why we bring them out first, immediately, while the curries come out afterwards, because that can take 2-3 minutes to serve. So that's been a learning curve for me, but it's one that it's worth doing, I think.
We have the final results of this round, round 4, and it is, as you can see, Viceroy of Windsor, 86, India WHITTON, 74, and MOGHUL, 68. Congratulations, Viceroy of India, for winning this round, round 4. And now we're going to combine the results, and the combined results, Viceroy of Windsor comes first. Second place is India WHITTON, and third is MOGHUL. Congratulations to all 3 contestants. I'm going to ask for just some closing comments from our mentors.
And I always say this, Catering Circle is a platform. It's not about only winning. It's about sharing your passion, ideas, bringing new dishes, new talents to the industry, which is craving for. So well done, all of you. I think you deserve another round of applause. Thank you.
And congratulations to yourself as a mentor. Quick few words from our winner.
Thank you again. Thank you, Catering Circle, for putting the platform for young restaurateurs to have this opportunity. Thank you to my mentor, to Fortress Hassa, for guiding me, helping me through, and making me understand things and learn from my mistakes and growing.
No comments.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you very much. Do we have any final comments from our panel judges? Just quick few seconds.
Yeah,
from
just want to tell everyone is a winner here. This is a competition for fun. We made it so that we can see creative ideas from the industry. And I'll be honest with you, some of this creative dish has been created. If we can roll it out well enough, you will save the industry and it will help everyone anyway.
Thank you so much. Right, it was definitely intense, all 4 rounds, and congratulations to you're all winners. So don't forget, the next episode is on the 4th of October. It's Series 7, and it will be episode 4, where all the finalists, the semi-finals. So stay tuned for the next episode.